Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. Today we are doing some fun stuff with Laravel. I realize that my head is probably extremely in the way over here. So I'm going to go put me out the way and we're just going to jump in. Let me have a sip of coffee and we'll get building a website with Laravel because that's what we're here to do. So what have I done so far? I have got Filament just set up. Obviously, I can't spell admin. I've created a basic setup here so that I can start to build out the website. Let me pop this in a new tab as well so we can get Filament up. So if I go through and log in, we have Filament. It's plain Filament. Nothing is on it yet. Nothing that we've missed out on. I've got Filament docs up and running because Dan told me read the docs because I never do. So let's have a look at resources. We want to get started with resources because this is a blog. So simple modal resources, automatically generating everything. I want to do that. So I'll copy this and I can come over to here. And I can run this living sale. No, damn it. It's always the way. I always mess something up. Oh, get rid of that. Right, okay, so it's not a customer. I want to do this with a post model, and I'm going to take you through that in 2 seconds. There we go. So, models, what have I got? I've got a user. What does a user have? A name, a role, a company, avatar, email, and password. I've removed the email verification because it's just me. It's a personal website. It's going to be a replacement for my current website. So just steveking.uk. It's about time I rebuilt this. I've got a lot of articles on here. It's currently a static site. It was originally posted on Laravel News. You can see it all here. It's all lovely. But it was really boring. I've got my about page, which is cool. Got what I'm currently working on. Got all the devices that I use. And all of the speaking stuff. So I can kind of click through and I can see some information from artisan to badass, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't work for me. So I'm building a new website and I'm going to build it in Laravel. That is because Aaron Francis did a really cool video on you don't need static site generators anymore. So yeah, I'm going to agree with him on that one. So my posts. I have a post right now. What's it got? It's got which user it belongs to. Each post has a title and a slug, a description. The description is 160 characters. It's got the featured image, like the main image that you'd see at the top. Like if I go back to like my blog, for example, blah, blah, blah. Let's go on this one. It's got an image at the top. That's a featured image. Do I want that to be the open graph image? Maybe not. I might want to override that. So I've got a different open graph image so that I can have them separated. A category, that's an enum. So I need to fine tune that. Visibility is an enum and partner is also an enum. Then we've got a canonical URL, which is nullable. So the idea there is that I've got a title. I've got a description, which is going to show, it's the snippet of the blog, basically. It's also what is then shared through meta tags. Canonical URL is the link to, so for this one, for example, this is the canonical URL, the passwordless authentication in Laravel News. So it's allowed me to build out everything nicely. This, obviously, it looks crap. I'm not going to lie. It looks terrible. Doesn't work for me, but it's basically just going off of the order of the database columns. None of it's auto-generated, none of it's linked up. It's just done a quick beep bop from the database. Away we go. So let's look at that. Another sip of coffee. So let's go look at our post resource a second. So the first thing, obviously, is to declare some strict types, make this final, turn this into a union type, and this into a union type. And let's look at this form. Actually, first thing is let's get rid of that because I don't actually have a relationship manager yet. Those, I'll get rid of those for now. So components, user ID, relationship user based on name. Perfect. Text input for the title, required, max length, great. I can make that unique. Description, max length is 160. Image, canonical URL, another image, partner. This, I believe, I can just say enum, and the enum is a partner enum. So the idea here is that, I've got articles that I've written for Laravel News. I've got articles that I've written for PHP Architect. They're not something that grow a lot. So use it as PHP enum, pass it through that way. Everything is good. Again, this is an enum category. I don't do too many different things. I've got tutorials and I've got general articles so far that could expand. Hey, Dan, thanks for joining. So we're going to default this. I wonder if I can just say like category article, if that would work. Boom. Oh, wait, no, that needs to be a select. That's what's going wrong there. Select, select, select. Enum on visibility. Default visibility draft. Don't need to worry about max length, so I can remove that. Don't need to worry about max length here either. And max length there can go as well. Perfect. So refresh. Partner, visibility, category. Why is that not loading, I wonder? I think I need to do like options of visibility too. So then options of category, and then options on partner. So bang. So I'm going to have a look into that, see if I can get this loading nicer. But again, it is a so enum's the validation side. That's what I got wrong. So I need to provide it options, but this is for the validation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this there, so that validation's all in one row. Put that one there, and pop that one there. So then it's kind of visually split. That's label interface on the enum. Ooh. Okay, so implement has label. This needs to add a method stub, get label, return. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at that, see how I can get that working nicely in a way that I'm happy with in a second. It's not a big deal for me right now, I don't think. So that description, I want that to be bigger. So if we look at like the form builder, we can go look at the different components. I want that to be a text area instead of just a text input. If we look at post resource and go to the description, I can swap that to the text area. And that should, there we go. That is a bit nicer and easier to read. then this content down here, I want this to be like a rich editor or markdown. Typically, I use a markdown editor. They look similar. I'm just going to use a markdown one because all of my content is in markdown. So if I come over to here, bam, fantastic. Obviously, I am going to be using. Oh, that's a good. Okay, so this value. Let me go back and add that. Sorry, I'm reading comments at the same time. So implements has label. Add those method stubs and just return this value. That shouldn't return null, but we shall see. So now if I go to there, aha, that is beautiful. Okay, so I can do that on all of my enums quickly. If I come to my enums, I've got category here, has label. That's never going to be null, but I'm assuming it's part of the face value. There we go. Visibility. Implements has label. And return this value. I mean, I could probably make that easier later. So return this value. Good. Oh, and that's so much nicer. Database normalized snake. Don't need it. Okay, that makes sense. Is there an alternative to Filament in Inertia View Stack? Yes, it's called Livewire and Filament. No, I haven't seen anything, if I'm honest. Has color on the enum and only. Ooh, has color too. So we can add a has color, get color, and let's go to the docs a second. That's a match statement, so I can return match based on this when it is self-draft. We go blue. When it is published, we go green. And the default can be grey. It should never be grey. In theory, that shouldn't be needed. Condition is never matched. But if I remove that, am I going to get an issue with something else? So let's format that. Have a look. If I go back to here, primary success grey. Okay, so let's go back to this resource a moment, because I don't want all of this on the table. I don't care about that when I'm viewing it. Don't care about the slug when I'm viewing it. Image and canonical URL and open graph image, not useful for me. Created at, not useful. Updated at, also not useful. So when I'm viewing my blog posts, description, I also don't want to see it's just too much text. I just want to be able to say, okay, so even user's not important to me. I just want to know what it's called, is it with anyone, what category, and visibility. Bang. The colors are registered in the admin panel. I did see that. So I can come through really easily, create a new post. I'll look at formatting this in a moment. Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm sure there on the relationship, I can provide like a default. Let me go have a look at that quickly. Select make relationship user. Default is user query where email just steve@gmail.com. Let's see if I can just guess how it works. No. We'll look at that in a minute. We'll look at that later. So, auth ID is I like it. Bang, perfect. Person logged in is the person writing it. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so it's always going to be me logging in. I can create my title. Can you do like some kind of hidden? That's good. This bit, I know you can do like some real-time updating on that one. I'll have a look at that. Image description. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Text input, text input. The description, I want this to be course span full. There we go. A little bit nicer. I can kind of focus on that one. Maybe do something like rows 5 default to give it some kind of breathing space. That works. Then we're going to have canonical URL. We've got 2 images. Then we've got that. So 2 the images next to each other. Canonical URL if need to. Select, select, select. Write my content. All good. So create a post. Super simple. I can create a new blog post and we're good to go. So that means when I come back to my dashboard, what I could probably do is if I come back to panels or widgets, maybe. Let's look at widgets. I'm assuming I don't need to do this. Filament install widget. Let's see what this does. Hit and see. Before I do that, let's go git status, git add, git commit. Working on the post resource for Filament. Cool. So I don't need to start. I'm pretty sure I'm already started. So if I come back to here, nothing's happened. Ooh. Yeah, cool. Refresh. No, cancel. What's going on? Right. Widgets. All of that should be installed. Probably. Let's run it in case. Oops. Create a new Tailwind and add filament. Blah 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 blah. That should already be in there. Let's go double check my Tailwind stuff. Oh, pre-installed. Okay, my bad. It says it above. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, that. Please make that stand out more in the docs because I did not notice that. Okay, so what I want is let's look at a chart widget maybe. Available charts. I'm pretty sure the panel builder there was part. Here we go. Widgets down here. Resources widgets. let's have a look at this. Just make a random widget and see what happens. So sale, artisan, resource. We are going to use a post resource. And we're going to call this post overview. I want this to be stats overview. I want it to be on the admin panel. Post resource, get widgets. And again, so in post resource pages, list posts, get header actions. Okay, let's go look at the docs. That might be useful. Get widgets. The widgets. And let's return an array. I need to do the class name. So that would then be a post overview class. Do I need to do something in here? Get stats. Okay. So the stats themselves, this is maybe useful for me. List products, get table page, stat make. Okay. So I can return this. Just add that. I've got a stat in it. Yeah, it's got a stat. Total posts. Get table query count. Let's just see what it does. Get page table query. That's not what I want. Ooh, okay, so let's figure out these widgets quickly because they're going to be quite useful. Get header widgets, customer overview, make. Resource page, you can use a make method. Okay, so let's delete that. Let's come back to list posts and we can just call make the properties. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Let's see what it does. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Okay, so blah, 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 status. So on my widget itself, then I need to go through it and say visibility. Once I've got that, you can now access that. So let's do an example of get stats. No, get stats. Stat make. Label is published posts. Query where visibility is this visibility count. Might be a nicer way to do that, but here we go. I got one published post. So once you know what you're doing, that's quite nice and easy to do. I can add stats up here, quick stats of, you know, published posts, blah, 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 do lots of cool stuff. So let's focus back on this kind of homepage. The way that I've built this so far is obviously Filament is the admin aspect, so I can manage it. If I come into routes, I haven't registered any routes. So how does it work? What I've got is pages, index. I'm using Laravel Folio because it's going to make a lot more sense. It's just the website. What I've got is X page, which is a component. This is my component where I've got a prop which says title, passing through the config title. What I'm actually going to do is swap this to site title. Which shouldn't change much. So I created my own config. So config site, and it just loads data where I need it, and it's all good. Pre-connect, do some magic, get some Livewire styles in there, get some magical Alpine going, add some wire navigate to make it a little bit kind of sexy. Then I've got a slot, and that's it. That's all I need. I might add a footer down here later, but not a big deal right now. So what I've got is this Livewire latest post, and what this does is, what I wanted to do was basically, when the page loads, get the latest updated post so that it can show on the homepage up there. People can click on it straight away. They come to the website, they don't have to scroll. Just like bang, there's the latest post. But that obviously, if we come and view the code, it's just a Livewire component. It's got a wire poll, it's got a wire navigate, and it will allow you to view it eventually when I get around to it. It's passing through the user information, the post title, and that is all I wanted it to do. I need to add in an icon. I can do that later. Icon will go there. That'd be like an arrow to click through and read. But it's just like something useful at the top. There will be an image here. Do I have that image locally? I cannot remember if I have that image. Nope, don't have it. So let's see if I can. Where did I put it? It might be on my Figma. Is it on Figma? Let's go check Figma. I'm pretty sure I saved it on Figma. I can export it. That'd be useful. I lost my browser window. There it is. Right, okay, so Figma. It is somewhere. Where did you get it? Down here. Here you go. Here I am. This is me. This is what I need. This, I can then go. I'm going to switch that down to that, and we're going to export Steve. Bye-bye, Steve. You can come over to developer, GitHub, just Steve King. Come down to storage, app, public. And we're going to call that steve.png. And when I come to here, all I need to do now is sell artisan storage link. Refresh. There I am. Home page ready to rock and roll. So got my navigation up here. This will be, I'll build that in a little bit. Latest post, bit of content. That's just static content. That's pulling from configuration. I got an image, so if I ever want to change it, just replace the image and away I go. So what else could I do? Let's go look at Tailwind UI. I quite like some of these e-commerce templates. I don't know if everybody's seen them, but they're just nice. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's nice. The idea for my website is that it's moving from just a blog to, it's going to have a blog, it's going to have like my YouTube videos, it's going to have talks, all lots of cool stuff, basically. And if where possible, I will use an API to pull in that data, cache that data, etc., etc. So I quite like some of these. Like something like this. It could have like talks, videos, something else, or maybe more like this. Just get a nice picture. So let's just go grab that from here. I don't go grab the code from the code snippet because it never bloody works for me. Unless you're using like, I don't know, React, it just does not work nicely. There's the biggest downside to Tailwind UI, unfortunately. So here is this MX blah blah. There's a relative. There's that bit. And what I want next is, let's just drop that in and see what it looks like. Okay, that's not what I want. Drop that in and see if that looks better. There we go. That's nice. That works. So I can go through and I can customize this. I can go through that. I'm not going to kind of load that through any sort of CMS. It's going to be, okay, so that's images, that's something else, that's something else. And I'll probably end up using something like DALL-E 3 to generate images for these based off of that style and just do some magic and just see where it goes. So shot by collection, not super interesting. That's just going to be that. What I'm going to do is as a PX. I'm going to add that as a PY. That can be a PY as well. I like equal spacing. Works better. Okay, so basically, could I put that in there? I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we've got a H2. That's fine. Shot by collection. Some shit I do. We're going to add this here. A little bit of an explainer. Then it's got 3 links. That bit's cool. So I want the style to be consistent. I want everything to be as consistent as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to components here, and I'm going to go create a h2.blade.php. That's simple. Copy this, drop it in, turn that into a slot, add a prop. And we're just going to have an do I want it? No. I'll give it a title. And by default, this is just going to be nothing. Try ID. See if that fails on ID. ID. Cool. So I can then say XH2 ID is going to be some shit. And some shit be this shit. And come over and there we go. All good. So I've now got consistent H2s, and if I ever want to change the styling of them, like that text gray, I'm just going to drop because I don't want that. I want that to be wider. Hello from Morocco. We're going to have this pretty generic p tag going on around the place. So I can come over to components, go p.blade.php. Let's just drop that because we want the text to be consistent. I don't want to override any of those styles. And then we're just going to drop in that slot there. So that over on index here, I'm just going to grab that, go XP, done. I'd probably do the same with a few other things as I build things up, like let's take a good example. Let's take an example. Here we go, latest posts. This, for example, I'm going to want to have consistent avatar images across the board. So I can come over here and I'm going to create a new file, and that's avatar.blade.php. Going to drop this in, drop this down a layer, drop this down, drop that down. I'll also drop this down as well. This is going to have some props. Always use props where you can. So we're going to have a source, and we're going to have an alt. We're also going to have a size. And the default is going to be 10. So I can size there, use size there. This can then be source, alt, and then standardize that nicely. Up here, I can then say X avatar. It's not much different to how it currently is. So I can just grab that source and grab that alt and drop it in, move that. It's still there, still looks good. So in the past, maybe we'd say, okay, this is a bad idea. We've got lots of components, which means that Blade's going to have to work overtime to pull in all these extra little bits, lots of includes, lots of requires. But your views are cached. Don't worry about it. So this icon, I want an icon. So the way I like to do icons is maybe a little bit different to others. Here's my icon.blade.php. Icons, something like heroicons. What I want to do is I want to have like this arrow here, and I want this. So I know I'm going to mostly be using heroicons. There's not really much of a question to that one. I'll add a default class of like, I don't know, width 6, height 6. Again, I'd probably end up adding some props into this one, and I'd do something like a size prop. Like this. Size. It's already got the current color in, and then this part here. This is what I care about. So I need switch statement. I want to switch based on the name. So what I was just looking at was the arrow long right. So I can add a case. Arrow right. Great. Done. Fantastic. So on my latest post, I can say X icon. What's it name? I can never remember. Yeah, name equals arrow right. Done. SVG by name. what I'll do is come over to something like Heroicons and zombie cross X circle. We'll just grab this. Grab that. Come over. Switch name, arrow right. SVG by name arrows. Default not found. Okay, so something's maybe clashing there. I usually actually don't do that. I usually do something a bit different. X dash circle. Case X circle. Done. Okay, I'll have a look at that. That's not super important right now. I will come back and look at what I can do around that in a little while. So I want to be able to get my posts. So again, come back to here. We could say, latest posts. I want to get a list of my blog posts, so I can come up to blog section here. How do I want them to look? I quite like this style, if I'm honest. So I'm most likely going to go for this. So again, I can just grab this. Come down to index. Got all of this. Let's just collapse that because I'm going to want to do my own thing. Up here, I'm just going to do a X-H2 where the ID is latest posts. How much does it say from the blog? Do that. On the blog. There we go. So then I don't want that article there. I want this bit here. This is the important part. So this is where we need Livewire. And the beauty of Livewire is that it is easy to use. So we can say, hey, make Livewire latest posts done. In here, I can say Livewire latest posts. Got latest post and latest posts. So drop that in there. Ignore this. I'm going to grab this entire thing. And we can just do a for each posts adds post. Drop that in. And what we can do is wire color. Posts. Drop in some strict types. Make it a final class. Turn the view here, and we want to say posts is post query where visibility, I spelled that wrong, visibility is published, I don't know, I want 3, latest, get, latest based on updated at, spell this right, bang, we've got one post. So down on this latest post, what we can probably do is to replace the image to start with. So we just grab this and we can say post image, I believe it was called. Yep, it is. fantastic. That's the author. Don't really care about the author information so much, but I'll show it anyway. So boost your conversion rate. Sounds very businessy. Post title, test post, perfect. Post user name. So on this latest post here, we want to make sure that we're actually pulling in that relationship to avoid any n+1. That's Steve McDougall, aka moi. I can grab this. I could probably replace that for an avatar component. So I can say X avatar source is post user avatar. Alt is post user name. Stick with the default size until we check it. We want consistency. And there I am. Okay, so I want that size to be smaller. So that size was actually a 6. Get rid of that. Size 6. That's better. Then we can go up to this date here. Do date time. We can say post updated at to date time string. And this actual date. Post updated at. We could just do a too many keys. And like if for humans, make it clean, make it simple. Something died. What did I break? There we go. So 2 hours ago, here we go, clickety click, jobs are given. So all of that would work. Would look nice, do the job, can add hopper states later, but everything is starting to come into place. Obviously, that is sticky. It kind of needs a background on that header. That will probably annoy me that I've got to do that. So let's just open up page.blade. Come up to the top. Where's this sticky bit? Sticky. So we want the BG to be gray 50. When it is dark mode, we want BG gray 900. Have a look. Slightly, yep, cool. So BG gray 50. We're going to put some opacity on it. See how it looks. Maybe a little bit less. There we go. That's a bit nicer. A little bit easier to see and read. Yeah, I mean, I'm no designer. This is Tailwind UI and me playing around. But we can create new blog posts. So, let's go for a new post. We can say test or I don't know. Laravel is awesome. Laravel is awesome. Here is a description, and it cannot be longer than 160 characters as it is used for the SEO description meta tag thingy open graph stuff. Image browse. Let's just add a sad postman pack to that one. We're going to say no partner, category, tutorial, visibility published, and Why is Postman Pat so sad? Great. Bang. Right. Null value in column, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's go to that post resource. And we want to come down to what happened? Why is this all squiggled? Just fix our file. Get it done. Get it done. Okay, we don't want that to be hidden. Try again. Boop. Must be a type of image slash something. Bloop. Uploading. I like that uploader. Created. Come back to the home page from the blog. Open image in a new tab. Where's it trying to go to? Somewhere. Okay, so where is that actually being loaded to? So let's go to Table Plus. Table Plus is super important. It's Postgres, of course. Let's just open up the env a second, check the name. Oh, that might be an issue with the database name. We'll check. Oops. Well, here we go. So we'll just do that. Green 127.0.1. I'm going to say sale. Word test. Boom. Test. Let's see. Posts. And that is there. Where did it get uploaded to? That is the question. Storage app, Livewire temp. Useful. Public. There. Okay, so that would be public slash. Maybe it's a permissions thing. Because it's definitely both there. And I know I can configure it and stuff like that. So we'll look at configuring that in a little while. First things first is latest posts. The image is there. What we want to probably do is storage link is already done. URL for the post image, maybe. Let's just replace that local. Okay, so I can't actually visit it. That is curious. It's definitely in the right place. Ooh, wait a minute. I probably want to have this as storage. Okay. Okay, so something's going on with the image uploads locally that I can kind of look to fix a little bit later. I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. That's something that I can kind of fix and resolve. Eventually, I want it to upload to like S3 or somewhere not on the server that I have to worry about, because there's going to be a lot of images eventually. So I've got the blog, so it's going to be like articles, talks, videos, that sort of stuff. So let's have a little bit of fun. Let's have a look at what can we do. let's do something like, I know what to do. Let's go to ChatGPT and have some fun. So I want to use, not the link, I want to use DALL-E and let's do something really funky for fun. And let's say, create me an image representation of blog posts based off of the following image. Documents, content, this one. Keeping the style consistent. Let's see what it does. I've never tried this, so could be an interesting one. So the way I like to use ChatGPT is to look, I've got a custom Tinkerwell theme that I'm kind of currently trying to figure out. But I like to have a chat and follow that chat for a long period of time. And it just builds up that context. Occasionally you got to kind of like reprompt part of the context or repass in that context because there's a character count, but it's really useful for like, I want to create some cool images for my website. ChatGPT, I could go to like Unsplash and be stock and boring, but I've got an image. That is my image on my YouTube, my Twitter, might be somewhere else, I don't know. But I then use that image to create stylized images for my website using ChatGPT. Unsplash can basically do when I'm not interested. If I want my website to look like everyone else, I'll just use an off-the-shelf theme or website builder. So it is slowly ticking along. We can find that image that we like. Filament is going to just work wonderfully. Great, comes through here. Let's say come to this and say, actually, I want to move that back to draft. Save that. That shouldn't load if I saved it correctly. Something's going on. It's not letting me do it. Slug's already been taken. So it's something I need to do with that. That I can live with. Oh, come on, ChatGPT. Don't be so slow at me. Thinking about it. So what else can we do? So this could be an icon that we use later. This I probably want to wrap that in a span realistically. That's app URL for that infinitely. Yes. It's probably because of this. If I open up my .env, my app URL is actually that. So then if I come over to latest posts, drop that storage part there. Something's going on. Might be a permissions thing. We'll see. Oh, wow. ChatGPT is so slow today. I would probably come to, let's just focus on the code for a second again. Come to here, components. I'd probably also create like a time component, time.blade.php. This, drop in some props. We want something like this. Oop, no, not like that. and would want, yeah, no, it's probably it's 100% something to do with me, nothing to do with this filament or anything like that. It's me. So we're going to have time, and we're going to default it to now. So we're going to say time to date times or date time string, time for that. Come over to here, and we're going to say like x time, where the time is. I do it this way. Post updated at. I believe I can do it that way. Should be able to self-close that. Over here. It's perfect, so I can just drop that. And I've now got consist is good in the world. Only they're like docs. Only. So let's go have a look at this. Come over to console. Wrong button. It's that slug again. Damn slug. Saved. So then if I come over to here, it's no longer there and we're all good. So that bit's cool. All of that's cool. ChatGPT is just gone. It's gone to sleep on me. I'm sorry. I'm going to do another stream, maybe tomorrow. What's my calendar looking like? That is an important question. I will try and do a stream tomorrow. How about that? Let me put my big old face back up here. Use unique ignore record true. Ooh, okay. So let's just quickly do that. Let's do that. I will forget otherwise. So post resource lug unique ignore record true. Oh yeah, this is why I love Filament. It's thought of everything. It's just do it and it's there. Like I don't even have to think anymore. I like not having to think. So let's just kind of like republish this, for example. That was awesome. To fix the typos, blah blah blah. Save changes. Come back to here, and here we go. So open link in a new tab. That's cool. So open image in a new window. No. Open image in a new tab. So it's failing to load that for some reason. That is a good question. So let's open up that .env. File system is local. What happens if we do this? I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't build UIs for a reason, right? I mean, I can upload. I don't usually care about loading the image. This is completely new to me. Right, I'm going to pick this up maybe tomorrow. What day is it today? Thursday. Friday. We could do a Friday stream, right? Let's have some fun tomorrow. Let's keep building some cool stuff. I'm going to go get some lunch because I'm getting a bit hungry. Again, thank you for being awesome. Thank you for joining me. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good night.